What's the cause of stomach ulcers? Well, the number one, it's actually dehydration. The other thing cancer loves is sugar. People come to us wanting help to conquer cancer. You see what we do? We suggest a diet that's highly alkaline.
If you took a survey of the diet of the average person, you'd be surprised to see that the majority of what we consume is an unhealthy amount of refined carbohydrates, added sugars, and artificial chemicals. Is there any surprise then that there has been an increase in weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and cancer? But in the midst of all this, there's a woman who has dedicated her life to educating people about their health and revealing the lies sold by food processing companies. Dr. Barbara O'Neill is a well-known figure in the field of alternative medicine, and her goal is to help people reach their best health by natural means.
Is the blood that carries the nutrients here to the CBD, the central business district of the human body, is the inside workings of the...
Many people are skeptical and find it hard to believe the advice of a doctor with no textbooks and no qualifications, but talk with the people who have attended her wellness retreats, and you'll discover hundreds of people grateful to Dr. O'Neill for revealing the truth about health and the best way to stay healthy. But from an objective perspective, is Dr. O'Neill telling the truth? Well, yes. You see, if you take a look at mankind's progress as a species, you'd see that we've made a lot of progress when it comes to creating delicious foods that can satisfy our advanced taste buds. But what we've failed to realize is that in our quest to eat the most delicious foods, we've ended up loading our bodies with poison. Research shows that these poisons make up as much as 25% to 60% of our diet. But the blame for this shouldn't be on the consumers. The food processing companies know exactly what they're doing. They create heavily processed food products and pack them with chemicals so consumers can get that dopamine hit of satisfaction when they consume it and come back for more. I mean, who cares that these foods could cause multiple diseases? It's fine as long as we have more burgers, pizza, and Coke.
Because in the last decade, poor diet has overtaken tobacco as the leading cause of early death for human beings. Primary cause of pandemic diet-related disease, including obesity and malnutrition, the primary cause is the rise of a diet of industrially produced edible substances known formally as ultra-processed foods.
We're seeing an uptick in the number of cases of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer, all because of the things we put in our bodies. We have more kids suffering from ADHD, but what can you do and how do you eat healthy when most stores and supermarkets are stocked with all kinds of processed foods? This is the question Dr. Barbara O'Neill has been able to answer. Dr. O'Neill believes in God, and she believes that the human body was created with the ability to heal itself, and the only way for each person to get back in touch with that healing power within them is to go back to their roots. But if you for a moment think this sounds like a change that may be too hard to accomplish, then just consider the damage processed food is doing to your body. A study was conducted with over 100,000 adults as participants, and the shocking results revealed that adults who ate 10% or more of ultra-processed foods had a 10% increase in the risk of heart and blood vessel diseases. So let's go back to Dr. O'Neill. What does she recommend for people who want to start avoiding processed foods and eating healthier? Well, according to her, the first place to start is by getting rid of oil from your diet. Yes, even the sunflower and coconut oils sold at your supermarket would have to go. Why? Because during the production of these oils, the seeds are heated at a very high temperature, and this destroys the natural substances in the oil that your body needs.
See, for centuries, people used the coconut oil and the olive oil. They can be extracted from the flesh of the plant. But those hard seeds, they couldn't really get the oils out until they developed high heat chemical equipment to extract oil from hard seeds. And because they use chemicals and heat, they destroy the oils immediately. So there's clear plastic bottles that have got sunflower oil, peanut oil, soy oil. Don't touch them. They're the oils that can help to damage the arterial wall. They're the danger.
But people have been using these oils, and that has been associated with an increased chance of weight gain and heart disease. So what's the alternative? Dr. Barbara suggests using saturated fats instead.
If you do fry any food, it should be always in a saturated fat, because saturated fat is heat resistant and light resistant.
But there may still be some hope for coconut oil. According to Barbara, there may still be some ways you can use coconut oil, and one of them is to boost your dental health. A study was conducted which revealed that oil pulling with coconut oil reduced plaque buildup in 60 participants with gum disease. But this isn't exactly a new find. Oil pulling with coconut oil has been done for hundreds of years by our ancestors before mouthwash and toothpaste were introduced by companies looking to make a profit. Dr. Oneill is reminding us of a past we seem to have forgotten in this new world of chemicals and ultra-processed items, so maybe don't throw away that bottle of coconut oil yet. Just move it from the kitchen to the bathroom and you may be saving yourself that trip to the dentist. But there are other bigger health problems that we should be more concerned with. Look at diabetes, for example. In 2021, the number of Americans with diabetes was 38.4 million. And considering the lifestyle today, you can safely assume that the number is only going up. But how deadly can diabetes be, you may ask? In 2021, diabetes was linked to the deaths of 103,294 people, firmly placing it as the 8th leading cause of death in the United States. But the truth remains that the big companies may just be responsible for giving people diabetes in the first place. They create massive industries dedicated to producing artificial sugars and carbohydrates, which the people then consume. But what do you do then? To put it straight, it's going to be difficult to avoid everything that causes diabetes, but you have to be willing to put in the work now if you want to avoid having a ton of health issues later in life.
Did you know that there was no diabetes on the planet till sugar was well established? So, to conquer diabetes, these 4 things have to stop. Number 2, another important point in conquering diabetes is hydration. What else is important is exercise. Specifically, the high-intensity interval training,
In the world today, our first instinct when we have a cold or feel ill is to dash down to the nearest pharmacy for medicine. These drugs have been advertised to us as a quick fix to get us back on our feet and back to doing the things we need to do. But with antibiotics, for example, the more you take, the less likely they are to work in the future. If you take a look today, you'd have to admit that there's a problem of antibiotic overuse. People nowadays take antibiotics for almost everything.
We had a young man named Paul do our program. He was 19. He had type 1 diabetes, and he'd had type 1 diabetes since he was 15, where he was put on a very strong course of antibiotics for a chest infection, and it started to kill off the beta cells in his pancreas.
Dr. Oneill is also of the opinion that you shouldn't run to the doctor every time you fall sick. Our bodies are designed to correct abnormalities and heal itself.
He was actually quite overweight for a young man. You see, high insulin, you know, insulin's got a one-track mind. I must store, I must store, I must store. I've got to get it out of the blood.
But does that mean you shouldn't do anything when you fall ill? There are things you should do, and odds are they are things your grandmother may have done at one point or the other. To go with her advice, Barbara shared her recipes with everyone. She spoke about the flu bomb, which is a far better alternative to antibiotics for curing the flu.
The ones that dump us glucose, get the blood sugar level too high. First 2 days at Misty Mountain Health Retreat, our guests have juices, mostly carrot, celery and apple juices. In the middle of the night, his blood sugar started to drop. What does that mean? He's on too much insulin. So the first week, he would have a lolly. That would get the blood sugar level up again, but he'd always get a headache because it'd go boom.
Barbara's main goal is not to make drastic changes to our lifestyle. Instead, she aims to emphasize the importance of what we already know. Take exercise, for example. When was the last time you took time out to exercise? Barbara talks about the importance of exercise and how we should try to take time out of our busy schedules to move our bodies.
God designed this living machinery to be in daily activity, and in that activity is it.
Barbara also tackles another increasing health problem in the world today. Cancer. In 2022, there were over 22 million cases of cancer all over the world, and by 2050, it is estimated that the rate of cancer will increase by 77%. What makes this even more worrying is the fact that the medical community has yet to come up with a treatment for cancer. The treatment options available now, like chemotherapy, drain patients and have dangerous side effects. So what should you do? Barbara emphasizes the need for sticking with natural remedies, and she also points out the link between cancer and fungus. So please take action if you've got mold in your house.
You need to take action.
The link between cancer and fungus. A person can have a fungus yeast in their body and not have cancer, but it definitely can develop into that. So you got to make sure there is no mold in your house. If there is, you got to put your detective hat on and find out why. Is it because there's something wrong with the air conditioner? Is it because there's a leaking tap behind the behind the wall.
However, Barbara has faced a lot of backlash for choosing to educate people about their health. In fact, her husband Michael O'Neill, the founder of the anti-fluoride political group and the Informed Medical Options Party, felt the need to put it all down in a book he titled The Assassination of Barbara O'Neill. The truth remains that we are what we eat. We can spend our time eating burgers and chugging down bottles of soda, but you'll spend time later in life restocking pills and making doctor appointments. A life that could have been avoided if you made the right decisions about what you put into your body. What do you think about Dr. Barbara O'Neill's words, and will you think about switching to her diet plan? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below.